All right, so on the docket today is another orchestra piece by Jonathan Harvey. It's called Tranquil Abiding, and it was written in 1998. And this is about 14 minutes in duration. It was commissioned for the Serge Koussevitzky Music Foundation in the Library of Congress in memory of Serge and Natalie Koussevitzky. And I guess that's just the dedication, but it was commissioned by the Riverside Symphony, George Rotham, and Bournemouth Orchestra. It looks like it was a joint commission by two different orchestras, premiered in 1999 on two different occasions. The instrumentation is 2222, 2200, percussion and strings. The strings have to be at least 76433 for the players. So this is almost like a chamber orchestra. The percussionist has to deal with tam-tam, 4 gongs pitched to F, G, A flat, and B flat, a mark tree, which is specified as microtonal, 4 resonating bamboo clusters, and 10 small singing bowls and bells, and or crotales, I guess, and also claves. So yeah, interesting stuff. The program note's very short here. Tranquil Abiding is a Buddhist term for a state of single-pointed concentration. A slow breathing rhythm is the basis of the whole piece. And yeah, the inhalation is the upper note and the exhalation is the lower one. Yeah, it seems to be very specific in its construction. And we're going to be listening to the BBC Scottish Symphony Orchestra this time. And yeah, this seems to be a release from 2012, conducted by Ilan Volkov. If you want the link to this recording, it's in the video description. Okay, yeah, so really cool piece. I probably shouldn't have covered this one because it turns out my score was only the first 4 minutes of music. And I forgot to mention the doublings, so, second flute also has to be piccolo, second clarinet, bass, clarinet, second bassoon, contra. You get the idea. Yeah, it's a very simple idea for an orchestra piece. I was a little bit surprised how sort of conservative and almost tonal it sounded. There was nothing really spectral about it until the very end, and it wasn't very serial sounding the way that other works by Harvey have these pitch cells and things. For the most part, this sort of breathing idea was in the strings, and then there were melodic ideas peeking out in the woodwinds. Sometimes that would take over that would enter a more climactic section. But yeah, really just two ideas, playing around with them for 14 minutes, and I think it worked really well. And this is not an early stage in his career or anything. 1998, he's already studied at IRCAM. He may have just started being composer in residence with the Scottish Symphony Orchestra, or maybe he wrote this piece before working for them and they just played it. It kind of reminds me of Messiaen a little bit. Some of the harmonies are kind of Stravinskyan, but definitely the slow tempo throughout, and this sticking to this breathing idea. It really reminds me of moments of Quartet for the End of Time almost. Yeah, it definitely had this motive throughout, which I was trying to place what made it sound tonal, but it's sort of going T La over and over again if you're thinking in fixed do. So that's that little sighing motive, which now that I think of it is definitely a very clear sighing motive. Implies a tonic. Sometimes the same two pitches are suspended over different harmonies, but That was one thing that really made it sound like quasi-tonal and not. I mean, it's a delicate balance. It didn't sound like cheesy at any point, but it definitely sounded like those solfege syllables, just T la. Tomorrow we're gonna look at a piece by Victor Rasgado, if I can find a recording, and that will be a little bit further in the past. So we're going back to 1995.